Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is August the 22nd, 2015. This is Mr. KB. Before I get started, I kind of want to do this, just put it out there. This is going to be a disclaimer. Everything that I say here is my opinion. This topic at hand is kind of a rough topic when it comes to the video game community. I believe it's been in debate for a little over a year and a half, maybe even close to 2 years now, that all this kind of, well, I guess we'll get to the issues have taken place, and I've kind of had enough of it. And so this is going to be disclaimer. This is all my opinion. This is strictly based on my experiences on the 25 years plus of gaming experience that I have acquired over my life, that I feel that something needs to be said. So let's get started. Okay, so I was on Facebook and I follow a certain publication that I subscribe to, and they also have their online articles and what have you. So I run across one online article that states 2 reasons why female leads are here to stay. Like, I clicked, read the comments, and I know people say that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I judged that article by its header right away. I didn't even bother to read the article. The title itself, to me, reads of one of what we call clickbait. Now, for anybody who might be a little bit older who doesn't understand what clickbait actually is, clickbait is basically the advertisement, the headline, the go, like the attention grabber, if you will, of said story. That title to me said clickbait all the way. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what the issue is, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what, I guess, propagated me feeling this way and what has happened in a broad scope over the last 2 years, because I think it's really an ugly face when it comes to gaming, and maybe I could cover it, but I'm not going to cover it here. Somewhere along the lines, I don't know how this even became a thing. It seems that there has been an uprise in voices that, I guess, there's not enough female leads in video games. Now, I will say that the scale of which there are female leads or maybe even female strong characters is not on par with that of a male. Now, there are a lot of contributing factors to this, but the main reason I think this is one of the contributing factors is that designers, programmers, head of studios, pretty much 90% of the industry, I'm going to say, is male. Now, when it comes to the creative process of making a video game, I believe all of the lead positions, or at least a majority of the lead positions, are also male dominated, male driven. So I think it will only make sense that most of the characters you're going to see are going to be male. That's just how it is. I mean, I'm not trying to justify the fact that most new strong characters or most lead characters in a game are male. That's just, when you have a male designing a video game, usually it comes along with the fantasy of, like, if I was this character, how would I portray? Well, obviously, if you portray yourself as a male, you're going to be a male character in the game. But the reason why I don't think this is such a big issue is because throughout the history of gaming, there have been strong female characters. Strong female characters. I think the most iconic that has pretty much transcended everything, and she came at a point when video games were just little boy toys. They were designed for men, they were designed for boys. Samus from the Metroid series. Everybody's mind was blown when we passed that game and the Metroid Hunter happened to be female. Everybody, we were like, what? I thought I was playing as a male this whole time, because that was the way that the industry was going, was that this was for boys. So to be playing unknowingly as a female character was like mind blowing. But The weird thing, and it's not really weird when you think about it, but the weird thing that ended up happening, I guess, for even for its time, was that nobody hated the game. Everybody still thought the game was it. To this day, I just beat it like 2 months ago. Up to this day, that game holds up so well. That is gameplay almost at a near perfection for that day and age, and it still holds up very well by today's standards. Nobody hated the game. Everybody goes, "Oh my god, this game was so good," and Samus was a woman, or I think we called her Metroid because we didn't actually know her name. We called her Metroid. Metroid was a woman. Oh my god. There was no hate. There was no like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I played a girl. I can't believe." And that character has stayed strong, and a strong icon in gaming for what has it been now? Like 20 years? Maybe, no. Almost damn near 30 years. I'm pretty sure it's 25 plus. I believe Metro came out in 86, 87. We're almost 30 years away from that. So you're talking about a female presence, a strong female presence in video games. That is the first lady of video games right there, in my opinion. I mean, she can probably share that with Miss Pac-Man, but I mean, she just shoot Miss Pac-Man in the face. And talking about Miss Pac-Man or Ms. Pac-Man, because I don't know if they ever officially hooked up, so I'm gonna uh I'm gonna talk about her as she was single. Ms. Pac-Man. I mean, that was just the better version of the game. I mean, you played Pac-Man and it was fun, but when you played Ms. Pac-Man, that was the best one. I mean, up to me, like Ms. Pac-Man is my favorite one of those classic Pac-Man games. That is the best one. So I mean, you guys can have a toss up. If you're older than I am, I'm 32. If you're older than I am, you're gonna say Ms. Pac-Man. If you're around my age or slightly younger, you're gonna say Samus. Plain and simple, Samus. So after Samus, I don't know what characters really followed in Nintendo. I'm trying to, and I don't have a script. I'm just trying to go this from memory. I don't know of any female character after Samus directly that was a strong, powerful character that holds such an iconic point of view. Fast forward to about 91, 92, and we have Street Fighter 2. Now Chun Li. Chun Li was the greatest thing. She had the fast kicks. She had the spinning bird kick. You know, when you threw in turbo or was it super, she got a fireball. But that's another character who is iconic. So Chun Li has been around for maybe we're talking about another 20 years plus. When you got to Super Street Fighter Turbo, I believe you threw in Cammy, another one. Another strong character who has about the same longevity, maybe slightly less than 20 years. The Street Fighter series as a whole is packed with strong, iconic female characters. Now, are there stereotypes on Cammy's wearing the one piece and she looks sexy in it? Yeah, but she's strong. The thing about all female characters, and you can go down the line from all of them that I can think of right now. So we have Chun Li, we have Cammy, we have Makoto, we have Juri, we have Sakura, Elena. Did I say Juri? I think I said Juri. Yeah, who else is on here? Damn it. DiCapri, Sea Viper. Who else am I forgetting? Well, either way, I just labeled those, and a lot of those female characters, all of those female characters are strong. Some of them are, I guess, dressed in a way where they're sexualized. Again, because they were probably designed by males. And I don't want to say that we're pigs, but I mean, sometimes, when we're designing something, we get into a fantasy of whatever. Not all of them, not outside of Cammy. I want to say none of the characters in the Street Fighter series are over sexualized. That's just my personal opinion. Cammy is kind of a special thing, but even her, she's toned, she's petite, not she's not, I guess, like the anime fantasies that you would see when watching some of these anime series. That's just my take on it. But all of those characters are strong. Even when you come down to Sakura, her main purpose in the series from a character standpoint is to be the best fighter. Even in high school with her bubbly little attitude or what have you, Her purpose, her want, and her need in that series is to be the strongest fighter. If you watch some of the animes that she's in, that's what she wants to do. She wants to essentially be the female Ryu of Street Fighter. She wants to be the best. She wants to challenge the best. You look at somebody like Makoto. Makoto is strong. That could have easily been a male character, but Makoto is a strong character. I don't see any weakness. Oh my god, I'm a woman. No. The way you play Makoto is you play her strong. You play her in your face. That's just how it is. Her character is the same thing. She's strong. She wants to go see Viper. She's more of your tactical combat. She has gadgets or what have you, but she's a businesswoman. She has her soft side. She has her daughter. That's her soft side. But in the arena, in combat, during a mission, she is strong. She's ferocious. She needs to get the job done. That's what she does. Elena, I'm not really too sure about her background. To tell you the truth, I didn't really play her in 4 because I haven't really played Super 4 or whatever edition we're on now. Yuri is kind of like your crazy. She's just your crazy character. She's essentially the female M. Bison. She has that mentality of like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm powerful. I'll do what I want. Chun-Li has kind of remained that whole, she's a cop, straight strong. She has a little, I guess, her girly side with her outfits and make, that's her femininity. I can't even say the damn word. That's her feminine side just exposed. What I'm saying, with the outfits and the dresses and the little buns. Cammy, oh damn it, Cammy is the same thing. She's on the evil side of things, or she was on the evil side of things when she was first part of Street Fighter. Now I guess she's more of a secret agent, or she's turned over to the good side, or whatever arc that story took. But these are all strong female characters. So we have those. Princess Peach. There we go. I forgot this one. Princess Peach from Super Mario 2 was possibly my favorite character. Possibly the best character in Super Mario 2. Not the Japanese Super Mario 2, but the American version Super Mario 2. That had the 4 characters, Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess. She had the best jump. It was a little glide jump. You jump and you would just glide around. And to me, like, I liked her the best. I would always play as Peach first. And then unfortunately I stuck to the game, so she would always die first. And then I was stuck with like Mario and the ones that I didn't want to play as. Her character is not really said to be that strong throughout history, just because she always gets kidnapped, and here comes the whole male machismo thing that we need to go rescue somebody. But whatever the case may be, to me she was a good character design. Fast forward to wherever we are. Let me see. So we have Street Fighter. See, I had all these things planned out in my head, and I didn't write them down. I guess more recently, I want to say Ellie from The Last of Us. I can't even remember the male lead character's name. I believe his name was Sam. I want to say his name was Sam. I love that game. Don't get me. That game was a masterpiece. I loved it. But Ellie to me was the more well-written character in that game. She was the reason why the story moved forward, and she wasn't just some 13-year-old or 14-year-old little girl that needed to be. No, she was ready. And spoiler alert, once you play Left Behind, which is the DLC for The Last of Us, that captivates, that puts her in a package that is so great that I don't understand how anybody can't, I guess, not fall in love with that character. For her age, her wisdom, she had been through so much because of the setting of The Last of Us. And once you play Left Behind, and then you fully understand the ending of The Last of Us, this was a person, even at a young age, who knew her purpose in life, or thought that she did know her purpose in life. And she was ready. She felt that her life had more value dead than alive. That's how she believed in herself. That's how she thought of herself. That yeah, she could be alive, but that her purpose was better served dead. And in this case, the male was the one that messed that up. The male was the one that was, I guess, to quote unquote, the weak one, the one that couldn't bear to lose. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just that is, I guess, the game being kind of like the polar opposite, where the male had what I guess what is called like the mom syndrome. No harm shall befall my baby. He had that, while Ellie at a young age had that. You know what? I gotta do what I gotta do. If mankind needs my body for science so they can find a cure to this disease, that's what I'm going to do. So that strong. Ellie, one of the strongest characters, even at her portrayed young age. One of the strongest characters to ever exist in gaming. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, outside of the way she was rendered way back in the PlayStation 1 Sega Saturn days, with the over pixelated boobs that were like bazookas out of her chest, that was always a strong character. She was an explorer. She was quick. She was agile. She could be deadly. She could take care of herself. And that portrayal never really changed throughout the series. The series' early iterations of the game, Tomb Raider 1, 2. And then you had the new one that just came out that was published by Square Enix. The new Tomb Raider series. And yeah, they toned her down, which was good. I do like the new rendering. Actually, she looks a lot more realistic. She looks a lot more, I guess, we'll just stick with realistic. She looks a lot more realistic, and still, but she still maintains that strong characteristics, like that female warrior type. A good, strong female character. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? And damn, man, I had so many in my head and I forgot. But that's kind of where I want to come, I guess, to an end, because this video is already kind of long. Is going back to why female characters are here to stay. That's not an issue. It's not a real issue. If there were none, I would say an issue, but this issue just coincides with the way that the development happens to just be in the video game industry. Now, I'm a male Latino. I struggle to think of even one strong male Latino character that has ever existed in the 30 years that I have been gaming. The only one I can think of is like El Forte. And he's a Mexican luchador chef. Now, if you want to talk about stereotypes and all that stuff, like, yeah, he can kick your ass, but that doesn't really exude strength to me. He just happens to be Latino. More particularly, he happens to be Mexican. I'm not Mexican. I'm Latino. I'm Central American. So, I mean, there's that issue. How many African American strong male lead characters do you know? Matter of fact, outside of Elena, how many African female characters do you happen to know? So, I mean, we can deviate. We can take the biggest cloud, the biggest gray cloud that there is in the air that happens to be the hot topic of not enough strong females, and break it down into smaller gray clouds. But in the end, does that gray cloud really mess up your experience when playing video games? I'm not an Italian plumber, and I loved playing Mario as a kid. I'm not a turtle, but I like playing Ninja Turtles. I'm not a robot that can absorb my enemy's powers in my journeys, but I love Mega Man. By far, Mega Man 2 is probably my most memorable favorite game of all time. If you write characters with a good enough story, if you make games with good enough gameplay that can transcend timelines, those characters, those games also transcend whatever boundaries that you can make up in your mind. That's just how it works. Going back to my Metroid experience, that game still holds up. That game was great, is great, and it has, and that was the first game to transcend all boundaries that we are now making up in the future. Because it was made great. I don't care if I'm playing a female, a male, a garbage can with frog legs, a garbage can with dog legs, a half cat, half dog with a dragon head on the middle of my back. If the game is well written, if the game is well designed, well developed, well produced, that game transcends boundaries. There's no need to add boundaries because it doesn't fit something that you think in your mind it actually needs. There's no need to sully this industry with those boundaries. The point of this industry was to be boundless, not full of bounds, not full of borders, not full of dividing lines. Some games do that better than others. That's just a simple fact. Some games do that better than others. But in the grand scheme of things, why are we so I guess so desperate for attention? That's the only thing that I can really think of. So desperate for attention that we need to make up these things that offend us, that make us angry. Because we need this game to be this way. No, it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't. I mean, just from personal experience, your wife here, my wife here, she's not a gamer. But whenever a Professor Layton game comes, day one. It has to be day one. There's no waiting until next week. There's nothing. All right, we will literally save up money so we can go get the game day one. It's never bothered her 1 minute that Professor Layton is male and that her assistant Luke is a little male boy. It's never bothered her once because to her it's a game. That game puts her in an experience that even though the portrayal of Professor Layton is male, I'm going to say in her head, she can place her face there on a little blue top hat with that suit. Or he's black, sorry. Black top hat with that suit. And say, you know what? I'm Professor Layton. The portrayal of what the developer thinks I should be is male. But no, I'm going to play this as I'm Professor Layton. Again, it transcends the boundaries. It transcends division. It transcends all the things for her. And that's what video games are. Why are we so set on trying to make these things that don't even really matter? Why do we have to put labels, and why do we have to do like all these different things to make this an experience that we cannot enjoy? Why do we have to actually do that? I'm about to start crying right now because, yeah, I didn't even expect this. I'm about to start crying. Like, I don't get why the new age of media, the just the people who want to make issues to destroy this industry. I don't get the purpose to want to be so destructive that if your ideas are not met, you have to destroy everything. Why? Yes, there is an outweighing scale of male characters to female characters. Just how it is. But like I said, we can even bring that down and say, how many black characters, how many brown characters do you know? How many Asian characters do you know that they have reached? Well, maybe Asian is not such big of a deal because a lot of the developers are Asian. But games transcend all of that. I don't play a game like Hitman and go, hey, I'm a white Hitman. No, I played as the Hitman. It's colorless. Yes, the portrayal of Hitman is is a white bald guy, but that's not the experience I'm going. I don't play that game and go, I'm doing this game. I'm playing this game as a white assassin. I don't do that. Sleeping Dogs, same thing. Asian Gangster. I don't go and play that game and say, oh yeah, I'm an Asian gang. No, it transcends all of that. It transcends it 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 transcends everything. Video games is like music. That that is that is the best way I can describe it. It's like music. When you hear a beautiful piece of music, or just music that makes you bob your head, makes you just enjoy those 4 minutes of life. You don't care if the composer is white. You don't care if the composer is black. You don't care if he's brown, Asian, purple, a fish. You don't care about any of that. Why? Because the music, the harmony, the symphony that you hear in your ears, in your mind, in your body, and where it takes you transcends all of that. It transcends all of it. And that's what video games are. I can easily play Tomb Raider and I don't go, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be a female and have it bug me. No, the experience transcends that. Yes, the portrayal comes out. You play as Laura Croft. You control Laura Croft. You control a female. But that's a game that transcends it. It's not about who you're controlling. It's not about the portrayal of the main character. I mean, that they're narrative points in that point. They're a character to take you through the story, but the experience is yours. I didn't even know I was gonna start crying. To tell you the truth, I really had no idea. um, all right, man. I'm sorry. It's this video went a little bit longer than I expected. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you want to disagree with me, you can disagree with me all you want. If you want to have a discussion about this, I am more than willing to discuss this with anybody at any time. If it turns into an argument, well, I'm just not going to argue. Because the reason why all this bugs me is because I love this industry so much. I, I love this industry so much. And to see it clouded over by unwanted negativity. I'm not saying that the video game industry is perfect because it's not. There's been a lot of games developed in this industry that are just in bad taste. The Guy game, um, Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. uh, I'll call those two games in particular, even really the Dead or Alive series, because the fighting is not really why the game was developed to begin with. I mean, the characters themselves kick ass, but again, the way that those characters, in particular the female characters, were developed and produced, lead it to not being as much of the game itself, but more of the characters designed for the game. But again, that's a whole different discussion. So that's just my opinion. We'll leave it at that. And if this is something that bugs you, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're wrong in feeling that way, but I would hope that you can understand what video games are really about. And whether you're playing as a female character or a male character, that's just a narrative point. That's not It's not to make you feel as that male or that female. Those characters are your vessel to a narrative, to an experience that many video game companies hope will be a great one. And there have been many, 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 many games that have transcended the lines that are being drawn right now in the sand in this industry way before those lines were even drawn. All right. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, don't like, ask questions down below, comment down below, and we can continue with this discussion if you guys like. This has been Mr. KB. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.